Hi guys, Vlog here and welcome to another FIFA 21 video, and today guys I am going to be ranking the 32 FIFA 21 icons that I have reviewed so far in FIFA 21. Now actually for FIFA 21 there's about, I think, just over 100 icons. I think there's 101 icons in FIFA 21, 32 of which I have reviewed, and of course all these icons have 3 different versions: their base, their mid and their prime card, with the moments due to be coming out in February. And I thought I'd kind of just take stock of all the 32 cards that I reviewed so far and put them into this little ranking tier list system. So God tier, solid, average, poor, and never buy this card ever. So the first card I've gone in chronological order, apart from Crespo and Vanessa Roy, who I've just put there by accident. We've gone in chronological order. So for example, I mean, Ronaldo was the first card that the first icon that I reviewed at the start of this game, and Baresi was the most recent icon that I reviewed from today. Other cards like Inzaghi, Zola, Seydorf, I haven't reviewed them, so I can't really put them into this tier list system. This is just based on cards that I have reviewed. I'll tell you guys when I'm putting into this rating system which particular version of icon that I've reviewed. In the 32 icons that I have reviewed, there's only 2 of them that I've used 2 different versions of. So for example, Crespo, I've used his 85 and his 90 card, and Van Nistelrooy, I've used his 86 and his 92 card. All the other ones I've used only one version of, and I'll tell you guys that when I come to pick them. So the first one will be Ronaldo, and he's going in God tier as his baby card. I did actually get his baby card as a 3-game loan for signing up like the EA newsletter or whatever. Anyone was able to do it at the start of the game, and I got Ronaldo in the pack, a 90 rated Ronaldo, and he was still fantastic to be able to use. Like, even his baby cards, even now, still sells for over 2 million coins, I think, because he's absolutely insane. Very similar to the record breaker Mbappe in terms of stats as well. But yeah, he was absolutely amazing to be able to use. He deserves to be in God tier. I don't know if anyone else will join God tier in this list. Maybe one might. We'll have to wait and see. But the next one's going to be Socrates. This was the 89 rated mid-tier Socrates that I did review. Now, obviously, a lot of people said he's clunky, and yes, he does have a bad agility and balance, but I had him in my team for such a long time, and he was fantastic. And in the end, you know, listen, I'll admit, when I first kind of used him, yes, he does feel a little bit clunky for a cam, but the more that you use him, you kind of start to adapt to his sort of style of play, and actually his agility and his balance, the more that you use him, doesn't become that much of an issue because you start to kind of get used to it. And actually, in the end, he turned into an absolutely amazing card. Even when I reviewed him, to be fair, he was still really, really good. But it did take a little bit of a while to be able to get used to agility and balance, which is the reason why his lack of agility and balance and the fact that it did take a while to get used to him is the only reason why I don't put him in God tier. And some people might put him in average, but in my opinion, his 89 rated card deserves to be in solid. The next one's going to be Miroslav Klose. It was his 87 rated card. Now, I used him at the start of the game, and since then, the game has come on so much. I think initially when I would have used him, I probably would have put him in the solid area. Now, because there has been a few months since I've used him, I'm putting him in average, because when I used him, he was actually a really, really good card for me. He got me a fantastic return, so I'm putting him in the average category for the 87 rated Miroslav Klose. Rivaldo's 87 card, I'm putting in solid, because he was a really, really good card to use. Obviously, you know, he only had the 2-star wafer, but at the time that I reviewed him, he was a really, really good card to be able to use. And if you can get your hands on his 90, his mid-tier card, that'd be fantastic. I think his prime card as a left winger is just wasted. So if you're going to buy any version of Rivaldo, try and get his 90 card. Or even his 87, if you can go and afford the 90, then go and buy that one, which is like an upgraded version. But even the 87 wasn't too bad at all. So I'm going to put him in solid for that one. Deco, I'm putting in poor. When I used him, he was okay, but he wasn't, you know, he didn't set the world alight, to be honest. His 85 and his 87, I reviewed his 85. They're basically the same card as his baby and his mid. They're not great cards. His prime one, I might try and review at some point. I've been trying to review him for the past few days, but his price is fluctuating too much. I might try and get my hands on him, try and review him at some point, but his 85 card, poor. Crespo 90, I'm putting in God tier. I reviewed his 85 card as well at the start of the game, and that was also a really good card. But yeah, a few days ago, I did review his 90 card. He deserves to be in God tier. He is fantastic. He finishes off absolutely everything in front of goal. He's amazing. Van Nistelrooy, I'm going with solid. He's good, but he does lack in pace a little bit, which is a little bit of a downside to him. He's got nice passing stats, to be fair, for a striker. His finishing is superb, but I think he does lack a little bit in pace, which might stop him from going into the God tier. But he's a solid player. He'd be a great addition to plenty of people's teams. I also reviewed his 86 card at the start of the game. If it was just his 86 card, I'd probably put him in average, but the fact that I've used his 92 prime card and it was good in game, we're going solid for him. Roberto Carlos, I'm going solid. He was a very, very good left back to have. The only problem with him is he's way too expensive because he's Roberto Carlos. It just adds the fact that he's Roberto Carlos. He played for like the Galactico type of team for Real Madrid. The fact that he's a Brazilian icon. Brazilian icons, just because the fact that they're Brazilian, it just adds like an extra 100 or 200,000 coins onto him. He is unbelievably expensive, especially his prime card. I reviewed the 88 mid-tier card. He still sells for like over 700,000 coins when I last checked a few days ago. It might have changed now with the fact that more icon SBCs have come back. That might have lowered his price a little bit, but he's as good as he is, too expensive. Van Basten, 91 rated. I'm going average. He was fine. A little bit too clunky from what I remember. Lacked in pace as well a little bit. His finishing's nice, but not good enough for solid. Wright will put in solid. He was nice. Really, really good cards. Amazing pace and finishing stats. Lacks a little bit in dribbling, but on the whole, really, really good card. Shearer, I'm going to go with average. I reviewed his 87 rated card. I know, once again, doesn't have fantastic stats in game, but actually, or doesn't have fantastic base stats, but actually in-game played surprisingly well. Baggio 91, I'm going God tier. He was fantastic for me as a striker. I think he comes out and packs as a centre forward, but I reviewed his 91 rated mid-tier card. He was unbelievable. He deserves to be in God tier. He was fantastic. Suka, I'm going average. He has nice stats. I reviewed the 85 Suka, but in-game was a little bit disappointing. Not bad enough to put it in poor or whatever. Just wasn't great. Didn't set the world alight. Lineker, I'm going solid. I reviewed his 87 cards. No, I'm going average. He was fine. Or do I go? No, I'm going solid for him. No, he was good as 87 cards. That was his baby card. He was decent to use. Again, there was nothing wrong with him. He will be a good addition to people's teams. It's kind of like that half point between average and solid, but I'm gonna just about put him in the solid because he did get a good goal return for me from what I remember from when I reviewed him. Coman, I reviewed his 85. Don't buy him, way too expensive. Also, his prime card's free to get from icon swaps, and there's a reason for that. The reason why it's free is because he's not great, and his 85 card just would be a waste of coins. So I would never buy that card, to be honest. Carlos Alberto, the 87 Carlos Alberto, 100% deserves to be in God tier. He was fantastic to be able to use. And I still stand by this now. The best centre-back that I have used in FIFA 21. Absolutely superb. Gattuso, I'm going average. He was fine. Didn't set the world alight. A little bit too small. Rush, I'm going average again. Was fine. I reviewed the 87 Ian Rush, which is his baby card, I think. Yeah, he was fine. There's not too much to say about him. Trezeguet, never buy this card. Way too clunky, too slow. Poor card. Just too sluggish. And that was the 89 Trezeguet that I reviewed. Just wasn't a great card. Canavaro, I kind of want to go poor on Canavaro. He was a bit disappointing. Too short. I'm going poor for Canavaro. I don't think he's great. I think that in this particular year of FIFA, you really do need tall centre-backs with good physicality. And I think his physicality stats are okay, but he's just way too small. So I'm going poor for Canavaro. Figo, I'm going to go solid. I used the 90 card. He was pretty good. Zanetti, I will go average. That was the 88 Zanetti that I did use. He was fine, but he doesn't set the world alight, to be honest. So I'll go with average for him. Bergkamp, I'm going solid. Just not quite good. I could make a case to put him God tier, but it was the 90 Bergkamp that I reviewed. He was fine to use in game. I think solid is the right area to go for him. I think he might have just lacked in like just a few areas, not to quite put him into the God tier bracket, but he was still good to be able to use. I think solid is still definitely deserved for him. Hernandez, I'm putting, this was the 85 Hernandez that I did use. I'm going to put him into solid as well. He was really, really good, very, very pacey. Great finish on him as well, so we'll go solid for him. Veron, I will go average for. That was the 88 rated card. He, once again, he was fine. Didn't set the world alight. Probably not like the best value for money. He's usable, but is he great? See, the thing about these cards are usable, but are they value for money? No, they're not. Garinka, I will go God tier. He's fantastic in this game. 92 rated Garinka, absolutely superb. Amazing pace, dribbling, very nice finishing as well. Litmanen's prime icon, I will go for... I'll go solid. His passing's absolutely superb. Like his through balls in particular, really good. He has got a decent finish on him as well. Hadji, I'll also go solid. And out of the two cards, Hadji's better out of the two of them. I think he's a bit more expensive, but he's definitely worth paying the extra money for. Both of them are worth solid, but like Hadji would be in the upper bracket tier as solid, and Litmanen would be in the lower bracket tier of solid. But overall, both fitting into the solid category, in my opinion. Torres, average. Just way too expensive, like his SBC, and also his cards to buy off the market. Didn't think he was great, to be honest. You know, he's usable in game. There's nothing like particularly wrong with him, but he just doesn't represent fantastic value for money. John Barnes, prime, I'll also put an average, a little bit underwhelming. I think he's got some nice stats, like his pace and his dribbling is really, really good. His passing isn't too bad either, but again, on the whole, just a little bit disappointing. Baresi, I'm gonna go with poor. That was the prime card that I reviewed today. Again, it's same as Canavaro, just too small, lacks physicality way too much, and you need to have in this game tall centre-backs with good physicality. You know, people, for example, like Carlos Alberto. Are there any other centre-backs here that I've used? There actually isn't. But Carlos Alberto, you know, as a centre-back, just superb, great physicality and stuff like that. And Canavaro and Baresi just don't have that at all. And actually, they are all the 32 icons that I have reviewed for FIFA 21. I'm pretty certain I haven't reviewed any of these cards. There are a few ones that I still want to review at some point, but they are all of them. So in the God tier, 90 baby Ronaldo, 90 prime Crespo, 91 mid-tier Baggio, 87 baby Carlos Alberto, and the 92 rated mid icon Garinka. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Do you agree with how I've ranked these cards? I mean, I've reviewed, like, it's not like I haven't used these cards. I've actually used them, so I think I can like have a decent like opinion on where to kind of place these cards. It's not like I haven't used them, so I don't know how they play in game. I know how they play in game. I know how they feel and stuff like that. I used them all for quite a few games each. So I think I've been able to rate these pretty well for the most part. But let me guys know whether maybe some of these cards that you have used yourself that you would change. Would you maybe put someone like would you put that 90 rated Bergkamp into the God tier or something like that? Would you put a prime Litmanen in the average tier? Let me guys know in the comment section. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed this bit of a different type of FIFA 21 video. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.